gonna take this one back. Come on.
Hi, I'm Bill Adamsky and I teach English language arts here on the mountain. I was a freshman in high school, so 13, 14, something like that. I had cousins that were big rock and roll fans, and they'd listen to Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and Deep Purple albums. So when I was a little kid, I just listened to it with them, really got turned on to it. So that actually got me started interested in music. It's just stuff passed down from my family. Nowadays, I like so many different styles and so many different musicians, kind of hard to say. For the older bands, you know, I like classic rock, I like Pink Floyd and Zeppelin and the bands that I just mentioned. Newer bands that kind of run the gamut, you know. I like, I'm a big Foo Fighters fan. I mean, they're not that new, but they're still around. So I like, you know, their version of rock and roll music. But I'll listen nowadays to even, you know, country stuff, hip hop stuff. You know, I love some country guitar players. Brad Paisley is a heck of a guitarist whose music I really dig. So it's kind of all over the place. But I guess I'm a rock and roller at heart. You know, those classic rock bands are where I, you know, got my inspiration and continually to go back to. I get people asking me that all the time. I don't know. I have no idea. You know, on a Friday, I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I come to school, you know, done at 3:30. I go home, change, load up my car, and play a gig, and come home maybe at 2:30 Saturday morning. So that's a 21-hour day that I do probably 30, 40 times a year. So I don't know. Maybe the music keeps me going, but I'm surprised that I have the stamina to do this sort of thing too. Right now, I'm in a band that is an A-list band. We make good cash, we play great gigs. I mean, all my life I've been playing in kind of, you know, just crappy B-list bands. And it's taken me this long to get in a band that's really successful. So I'm literally living the pinnacle of my musical career right now as we speak. We're called Thumpin'. You can find us at thumpin.net, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We are everywhere in cyberspace. We call a Craigslist miracle. Someone put an article on Craigslist, I responded to it, a bunch of other people responded to it, and 11 years later, we're still doing the same thing. I mean, it doesn't happen like that, hardly at all, but it was just the right timing. We call ourselves a dance band. We do funk, soul, R&B, new stuff, old stuff. I mean, new, like Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic and Dua Lipa, but old stuff like Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 and Motown. So basically 50 years worth of funk, soul, R&B music. I had a college professor who told me if I didn't do it, I'd missed my calling. I went into college as a computer science major, and one day we were talking about a paper that I'd written for his English class, and he just said, I don't understand why you don't do this for a living, because you're really skilled at it. So he literally convinced me to change my major to English education from computer science, which I sucked at really badly. I think 1991 was my first gig. I taught at in Hillsborough County, Florida, which is Tampa City Schools. And then I got away from teaching for a little bit and then came back to it. So yeah, 91 I think was my first job. I never wanted to make a career in music. I mean, I never wanted to be a rock star, I never wanted to be a music teacher. I just wanted it as something that I do kind of on the side for pleasure, for stress relief, for a couple of extra bucks. So yeah, I just, the theory end of music, you know, being able to read music, I'm not very good at. I'd have to teach something other than guitar, which I don't think I'd be able to do. So I never had the inclination to be a music teacher.